Tom, a lot of people who don't have school-age kids think schools are closed. They think school's over for the year. Obviously, that's not true. Explain to people what's been going on and how y'all handle it in District 5.
Yeah, the best way to describe that, it's not traditional school, but it's still school. All our students are getting assignments through technology, through Chromebooks, which are like a laptop. We have them all issued from kindergarten through 12th grade. And their teachers are going online with them every day or with their parents, depending on the age of the child. And our teachers are working every day, our administrators in schools, obviously not 8 hours a day. We required, with our e-learning approval, to have 3.5 hours of instruction a day. And we have bus drivers that are working, cafeteria staffs working, custodians, maintenance, clerical staff. Folks are working different hours to make sure they accumulate their time. Some will work additional hours this summer to ensure that everybody meets those requirements. We've been delivering around 12,000 meals a day. That's breakfast and lunch. We deliver a breakfast and a lunch around noon each day. We'll have lunch that day, and it's for breakfast the next morning. Most of it is prepared or bagged together by our cafeteria staff.
I was going to ask you, who's doing all this manual work? That's a lot of work for you.
Yeah, it's our food service staff. And then our bus drivers, then we have some of our custodial staff are helping to deliver. We've had coaches volunteer at both high schools to help deliver, but they deliver about 12,000 meals a day. And in the near future, we hope to deliver not only on Fridays, deliver meals for Saturday and Sunday. Like before spring break, we delivered, 60,000 meals for spring break.
How do these kids respond to seeing the buses come and bringing their food?
Very excited. I've driven behind the buses and talked to some of the staff, but the kids learn once they learn that I go to my bus stop and they hand it out, and we've had principals ride on the buses to see the students. The feedback's been very positive. In fact, we've had more calls about feeding than we have instruction, which shows you the desperate situation a lot of families are in right now. I can't speak enough about how our culinary services.
Those people are often forgotten.
Oh yeah, and they've been working overtime. Our bus drivers have been just team players. They know all the kids, so when they go to a bus stop, they know, where's Greg's brother? He's supposed to be here. Well, you be sure to give this to him. And I've seen parents waving at the buses. So it's been a team effort. The instruction in the classroom or through our e-learning.
Before we get out of that, the challenge too is to maintain safety while you're doing that. That makes it even harder than just packing stuff up and handing it out.
Yeah. We've been very fortunate that we haven't had anybody that's has gotten a virus or anything, and people are practicing safe distance, washing hands, obviously, and wearing gloves and different things to protect themselves. But it's been a Herculean effort, and a lot of districts, and we do have some pickup sites as well at some of our schools for folks that parents want to come out and pick it up. But we're staying with the delivery model till this school year's over. Some districts around the state, tried that early on, but we're committed to it, and then once summer gets here, we'll do our summer feeding program like we've done in the past.
And you mentioned instruction. Anderson 5 was sort of in a unique position in South Carolina that y'all were the first ones to do distance learning and the online learning and stuff, but it wasn't intended to go this long. How has that been working out?
Yeah, originally, and we were the first to be selected and worked with the General Assembly to get a proviso passed to allow us to do it, and we were approved by the EOC. Now there's 15 districts around the state that are e-learning approved, and actually we mentor 5 other districts around the state. And originally it was set up for a 3 or 4 day event, And but we've been very fortunate that what a lot of districts don't do, which I'm proud of us, is having an e-learning program is really a three-legged stool. You got to have the technology, you got to have the devices, then you got to have the instructional support. And we have what we call DISs, Digital Integration Specialists, at each school. So they work with the teachers to push out assignments and work with them on implementing this kind of instruction. We have to have break it and fix people, because you've got 13,000 devices out in the community. They're going to break. They drop them, glass cracks or something, and that's why here at the office we have the Chrome Depot, where people can. You may have seen the signs when you come in. If you have a problem with your Chromebook, you come up, you go to the basement. We have a reset, where it's all blocked off. Our technicians look at it. If it can be fixed quick, we fix it. If not, we give them another Chromebook to use. So that's been a very positive support staff, and that just shows you got to have all those components, and you just can't give everybody a Chromebook or a laptop and say, look, go figure this out. We've done a lot of in-service, a lot of training. We've done training during this COVID-19 through WebEx, with teachers, to our professional development. We're up, in fact, next year we're upgrading all our technology in all the classrooms, and the teachers are getting new laptops, with more horsepower than what we have. So it's about a $4.5 million, $5 million project that we were already going to do anyway, but this just shows you the need for it.
Now, if a student is struggling, teachers still have contact with students. Is that correct?
They can
It's
email.
not just a distance learning that they can still.
Yeah, and a lot of our teachers are calling students. A lot of them are one-to-one technology, talking to them, and we encourage that a lot. And a lot of ours have done the parades and ride around different things, but the teachers have been above and beyond the call of duty, and because this is hard for them, and it's different, and they want to be with their students, and I've seen posts where teachers would post something, and students and parents, and I miss you, we miss seeing you. You realize that relationship that they've had. Our biggest concern for a lot of our students is they've lost 25% of face-to-face instruction. Even though we're e-learning, and e-learning is by far better than handing out little packets to go home and do busy work with. We realize we're going to have some work to do next year with remediation, and what concerns me, not so much high school kids, but those first, second, third, fourth graders who were struggling readers to start with. And those are the ones we've really got to focus and be creative. If not, we're going to have a bubble 7 or 8 years from now that can affect kids that are graduating from high school. So, we're already well aware of that. Our principals are, as I told them, they got to really think outside the box next fall. What are we going to do to make sure those kids don't become the lost generation? And because it can have an impact.
You've been around education for decades now. Have you ever seen anything that promoted this kind of challenge?
No, I've never seen anything like this. I don't think anybody has. I think you'd have to go back to maybe the polio epidemic in the 50s. Certainly World War II. The Great Depression and the Dust Bowl and all those things, the Spanish flu epidemic. But this is going to be something that, these seniors, we got kids now, they were born with 9/11. They've gone, their whole world has been domestic and foreign terrorism, school shootings, Columbine, all the way through. And now here with their senior year, There's no proms, there's no yearbook signing yearbooks as part of the culture. So it's been it's been a difficult time for a lot of those seniors who have gone through this their whole career. And but I do think in the long run, hopefully in the long run, going through this will make us a stronger. I know in communities you see more people walking, you see more neighbors talking, more families are eating together. It kind of reminds me, and I'm probably older than most viewers, but it reminds me of being a kid when we never ate out. You ate 3 meals a day at your house, and you see more kids playing in the yard, riding bicycles. So in a way, I think there's some positive things out of it that hopefully will make us a better people in the long run. We'd used e-learning. Each time we use it, we got better. We first did it, there were a lot of glitches. I mean, like any implementation dip you have with something new. But each time we've used it, I think we're highly skilled at it now. I can comfortably say I think we're certainly the leader, the standard bearer in the state, because we've been doing it longer. And we've invested $11 or $12 million to get to this point. There were some folks around the state that thought e-learning was, a waste. But I think everybody's seeing it now that, that it's paid off. And we were discussing earlier today that I think we're going to see a lot of folks realize things can be done from home. We're working now to how we can get back and get their personal belongings out of the schools and those type things. And you hate it for all the kids, but particularly the seniors that you worked to this point and all those things that are kind of the rite of passage, honors night, yearbook signings, all those things that prom, they're just not going to happen.
With the economy struggling the way it is, how has that affected bond issues and those kind of things? Is that going to be a difficult thing for y'all, or are y'all okay? Or?
Well, we're not going to have any bond referendum. We have discussed how's this going to impact sales tax. And I've had conversations with people that, look, it may not be as bad as you think, because a friend of mine told me that a friend of his owns a paint store. And last month was the best month they've ever had. So you get, Home Depot, Lowe's, you see people buying, pallets.
Parking lots full.
Yeah, because people are like, hey, I can get all these home projects done. I've been wanting to paint the inside. I've been wanting to put out bark, pine straw, pressure wash. So I think you'll, hey, let's buy some bicycles and exercise. Kids are, so I think, sure, we're going to lose sales tax from restaurants. And the restaurant business obviously is down. Now there's a lot of takeout and, it's certainly not 100%. But I think there's other places we're going to see a growth of sales tax. So hopefully it won't be as bad because originally I thought, oh, this is going to kill. But people are buying things that they wouldn't have probably bought. I know personally I bought a pressure washer, I bought a bicycle, things that I wouldn't have bought and, that I can use, during this time.
Anything you want to say to your teachers and your school administrators for the extra work they're doing and how they've adjusted to this?
Yeah, just, and we tried to stay in touch with them at email and that thing is, I'm so proud of them stepping up and, haven't heard any, there's no whining, there's no complaining. I think they realize what we've been able to do and keep things going. It's not a traditional school. It's a new way of teaching. I think when we come out of this, our goal is to be a better normal, not the new normal. And they realize it wasn't the government, it wasn't Washington, it wasn't Columbia. It was our teachers, our bus drivers, our cafeteria workers that said, look, we're going to do whatever we got to do to take care of our kids. And also, I think the general public is going to look perhaps at public education differently. And I know a lot of those parents who will be able to say, yeah, when my child needed help, help came.
And the parents who had to homeschool or take care of their kids' lessons at home are going to appreciate them having somewhere to go to school and
Yeah.
they can go to work, because child care issues have popped
Oh,
up
yeah,
too with it.
yeah.
The other rite of passage that obviously your seniors are looking forward to is graduation, and you said you had some news on that.
Yeah, and what we're going to do, our seniors will graduate on May the 21st. It's a Thursday, I believe. It's a Thursday. West Side will graduate at 10 a.m. Hannah will graduate at 2 p.m. It will be at New Spring Church. What we're going to do, we'll bring and I've got a meeting this afternoon with the high school principals to work out all logistics. The kids will be in the sanctuary, seated probably every fourth seat, because it seats around 1,900, so we can keep social distance. There will be no visitors, no parents, no guests. We will live stream it. They can download a copy of it. We'll videotape it. We'll have a photographer there making pictures as the students receive their diplomas. There's just no way we can bring 3,000 people together like we've done in the past, but it's certainly a way to recognize the seniors in their caps and gowns, valedictorian speeches, salutatorian, and recognize them that way. And I hope parents understand that this is the best option we could come up with. Around the state, they're doing different things. I want to thank New Spring. They're a great partner with us. We do our convocation there and partner with them in a lot of other things. So we'll be getting some information out to all the parents about how everything will go. But we've secured the date, May 21st at New Spring, and it'll be a graduation like we've never had. One of the things we've discussed is having a plaque made similar to the plaques you'll see on buildings. This was built by construction, and list all the seniors' names and have those placed in the schools, kind of the class of 2020, and a little brief about the pandemic. So years from now, kids can come along and say, oh, yeah, I've read about that. And these are the kids that had to sacrifice and be able to graduate.
And this will be, I know you're still working on the logistics, it'll be streamed in multiple places, so everybody should have pretty good access to it.
Yeah. And then they can be downloaded. We'll get information out where they can go. They could go to a parking lot of any school and use our Wi-Fi, to see it. Plus, we'll have a copy of it on our website they can download. We've talked about making DVDs of it, but I think most people are tech savvy enough to be able to watch it. It's the best option we've got, we think. If you had a graduating class of 60 kids, like some schools, 70, 80, there's probably other options, but when you got classes of 400 kids, it's difficult.
And I guess the final thing is, if parents of students have any questions, who do they contact, and how can they help during this e-learning process to help their kids finish out the year?
Well, if they have any questions, obviously the best point is their teacher to start with, and then their principal. And I think just have a structured day with your student. We've had some parents go, look, I don't know how to teach my child to read. Well, one of the best things is just read to them, but just stay structured with it. Keep grinding another month, and we'll get out of this, and we'll have a summer, and hopefully by summer things will open up more, and then we'll gear up for next fall. And
how has this affected gearing up for the fall? I mean, this uncertainty stuff.
Well, actually, in the next week or so, we'll start preparing our schools with going ahead and doing summer projects, summer cleaning. In a way, it helps us with summer projects. like for example at TL Hanna, we're replacing a lot of carpet there and some tile. So we'll go ahead and get started on that. We have projects at all the schools that we do each summer. And it just, it just gets to be a crunch to try to get it done before kids get back. So this gives us another month. And we don't have any major construction projects right now. We're finishing up at Hanna. Well, we won't be finished, but we're building those new concessions and bathrooms there. So they'll be working through the summer. Hopefully by September or so, have that completed. And then hopefully in the fall, we'll be back to normal and playing football and band and kind of put this behind us.